Hello. Today we're going to talk about open-mindedness. Um, what is open-mindedness? What is it not? Okay, I decided to make this video because um, this phrase is being repeated a lot, right? We need to be open-minded. We need to be open-minded. And looking back at how certain people have used that phrase sometimes, and also how I myself felt when people would tell me that phrase to be open-minded, you need to be open-minded. I realized that it often comes with a desire to force you into this way of thinking, or I mean a particular way of thinking, or a particular behavior or activity. And this is what I want to address today. So technically, right, if we go by definition, we know that open-mindedness is to be willing to try new things and to, let's say, consider other point of views, etc. So that itself is very, very noble, let's say, or very positive. But again, it depends on what you want you're being open-minded for or towards, right? It also depends on what you do and what you do not do. Because if they tell you, oh, you can do this, and that particular action is something that would be detrimental to other people, then and if you're willing to do that just for the sake of being open-minded, or just for the sake of trying new things, or you know looking for the thrill, I don't know if that is good necessarily. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you're open minded, but what what good does it do? It all comes down to the specific actions that you want to engage in, you know? And also, open mindedness is very relative, meaning that I can decide that something is good, and I can decide to partake in something, but you might not. Does that make you not open minded? Does that make you narrow minded for just because of that? Maybe not. I think it's good to reevaluate what we consider as open minded and what we don't, or at least how we use that term, and for what good, for what purpose, you know? So to go to let's see if I'm sorry if I can keep the direction I was trying to keep to go, for that particular video. So, um, though it does mean to be willing to try new things, as I was saying before, it all depends on what. So, for example, I might be willing to go um to try new things, like to try new books, even books that I don't naturally like, right? That could be considered um, open minded, but it could also be considered open minded to try and dance. If I'm not into dancing, or if this is not something that I would normally do, etc. But also, being open minded could be accepting that other people are different. And this is uh, my preference when it comes to the meaning of open mindedness. And it's where, okay, let's say you don't necessarily want to try something in particular, but you understand why people do it, and you okay with that. It's like you take a step back, and You're like, okay, like I'm this is not for me, but I'm okay with you guys doing it, and you even enjoy maybe seeing people do it. Like you just know it's not for you. So there's one thing that I forgot to say here, um, and that part that I'm explaining, and it's that open-mindedness should also be considered, or should be considered as the acceptance of other people and oneself as we are, right? Like, let's say, um, people are a certain way and I am a certain way. I can embrace that difference, accept it, love it, even, and even use it. Like, accept that I'm me. I'm willing to try certain things, and people are willing to try certain things, and that's okay. We don't have to be the same people. We don't have to try the same things. People don't have to tell me how to live my life and how to I don't know, to I think that the beauty of being open minded is to understand that our brains work differently. Our brains work differently. Our minds are completely different. Not completely, because there's a lot of things that we share, but um, we're different people. We've had different upbringing, different education, different parenting, different experiences, you know we're living in different places. We have a different type of body. We're different in many ways, where each of us are unique, and each of us is unique, and this only should help us understand and accept that it's okay if I don't want to do something, and if someone else doesn't want to do one particular thing that I think would be good for them, right? Like, sometimes I know people use that term in a good way. It's not that all cases, in all instances, that people would have a bad intention, but the beauty of being open-minded is to accept people as they are, and let them be, and let them do what they want to do, right? um yeah, or at least tell them, give them advice, but not for the sake of being open-minded. you know I don't know, it's like, it's not the purpose. The purpose is not to be open-minded. Open-minded is a tool for certain things. Like, I'd say I want to expand myself in this or that area, then I am going to try and be open-minded and try new things for that particular purpose, right? Open-mindedness is not the end goal. Open-mindedness is a tool, and people shouldn't use it as a weapon against you to make you act in a certain way, and to do things like a puppet. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so yeah, now we're going to resume the video. So this is an aspect that I think we should add to the overall definition of open-mindedness. Okay, because I think oftentimes, and this is where this is the point that I want to make. Oftentimes, this phrase is used culturally just as a manipulation technique, to try manipulation sorry, manipulation technique, to try and make you do things that you don't necessarily want to do. Because at the let's say, we can assume, right, about anybody, about most people, that they do want to be open-minded, right? Or people might want to be considered or perceived as such. So we know it's something that we kind of want to attach to ourselves. We're open-minded. I'm open-minded. right? Or at least they make it look so positive that it's something that you would want to be in a certain way. Or at least it was that way for me. I was like, okay, yeah, I do want to be open minded. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, I want to be open minded and I want to try new things, but I'm not necessarily want to try. I don't necessarily want to try that particular thing that you're offering me right now. And I think that's the danger because we would often overlook our values, our principles, our ways of thinking, the way that we see things just for the sake of being open minded. This wouldn't work with me at first, but after hearing many people telling me, oh, you need to be open minded, you need to be open minded, oh, this is nothing, this is just, like this is the standard, or this is, you should be open minded. I'm like, why is being open minded, why does open why does being open minded have to go against what I want for myself? You know, like it's not that I don't want to try things at all. It's just that I don't want to try this particular thing that you guys are offering, or I don't agree with that particular ideology or philosophy, or it's simple, you know? So be careful when people tell you you're not being open minded. Pause, stop, and think for a second. Is that true? Is that true? You know, um, is it that you're not being open minded, or is it that this person is trying to make you partake in activities that you don't want to partake in things that you don't adhere to, or maybe even in detrimental behaviors just because they're deemed open minded or cool or positive at the time or at that particular place you're at right now. So, um, I don't know. I would often think about that. I'm like, no, uh, it's not that I'm not open minded. It's just that this goes against my core values. You know, I may not want to do this because I know afterwards I will feel terrible about myself. Yeah, yes, you would remain my friend. You would keep on going out with me, or you would feel more comfortable about me around me because I indulge, I partake in the same activities that you do, but I would then stop being myself, you know? And who's going to live with the consequences? Me, myself, and I. Nobody else will deal with the consequences for me. So I have the right to say, hey, I don't feel comfortable with that. And I think you have that right to not, I don't think you have that right. Okay, you have that right to analyze things that people are offering to you, whether it be your friends, your family members, your coworkers, acquaintances, celebrities, okay, anyone who is telling you you need to do this because open mindedness. No. Dare to say no. Dare to say no. Okay, I'm not being considered open minded. That's fine. That's fine. But at least I will not be influenced into doing things that I do not want to do. Okay? Dare to let them friends, then these friends go. Dare to take some space. Dare to let them feel uncomfortable. Let them walk away. Okay? Because sometimes for the sake of maintaining certain relationships, we hurt ourselves badly. And it's difficult to, I think the one that is the most difficult to close or to get past from is the one that one causes to oneself. Like what you do to yourself is what is the most difficult to overcome. So do not let people make you hurt yourself. All right? Don't be open. I mean, you're not being open minded, you're being influenced. Okay? So, yeah. I wanted this video to last 5 minutes, but it's okay. I think that's all I had to do. Sorry. I think that's all I had to say about open mindedness for now. Um, do let me know what you think and if you've experienced that. If you've experienced people telling you to be open minded just to convince you to do things you did not feel comfortable doing. You did not want to do. Okay? Bye.